let's look at what we can do with the other demographic indicators. So, so if I click on 5 again, and we see we're down to this this cluster audience, and say I wanted to look at women who are homeowners in this audience. And then if I wanted to say between the age of 40 and 80, you know, and with a minimum income, well, let's not even touch that. We're down to now to around 6,000 in this audience. And we can see how the age distribution looks, you know, and how that income distribution and education looks as well. And we can say, okay, this is an audience that we'd really, maybe there's an offer that we can definitely target to. And when we were able to show this to the business, this is really where the light bulb started to switch on in the room, you know, and where the business could really sort of visually see how these sorts of analysis might be extremely interesting to their marketing efforts. And I
guess if I can just tag onto that too, right? I mean, this was something obviously we created, but then made available to them, right? So even after kind of telling them what the important things were to really pay attention to, they were given the ability, right, to kind of play with this themselves. And basically, if they wanted to check on something, they had the ability to go in there and tweak some things and corroborate what we found, right?
Absolutely, yeah. That's the and so, you know, they were able to see the results themselves, you know, and play with the results themselves.
Because I just think that's kind of one of the biggest things that you know, along with kind of this clustering and machine learning stuff, is it can be extracted so far away from the actual data and the consumers themselves that it gets to just be this black box concept, right? And there's not really this understanding of what's gone into it, what's the data points that went into it, and what are we really finding as a result of it, without, again, being able to in this way, we can actually tangibly kind of play with that and tease some things out of it. But I think that's just, it's awesome how we did this, because it makes it a lot more accessible, right? And you can actually see what constitutes and characterizes these clusters, rather than just having someone come to you and say, these are the clusters we're going to use, and here's the average age and you know, gender, for instance, or something like that. You know, this kind of gives a lot more of a complete picture here in terms of what we were seeing. So I think that's awesome.